All right, so tonight, June the 27th, 2026, in Brooklyn, New York, we have, I believe, a decent matchup tonight with Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas for, I believe it's the super middleweight championship for the WBO and the WBA. So Zayas is the unified champion, and he's a bit younger than Boots. Boots Ennis has 35 wins, 31 by way of knockout, while Zayas has 23 wins, 13 by way of knockout. I'm not very familiar with Zayas. However, I do know a little bit about Boots. The word out on Boots is that he hasn't stepped up his level of competition. So this is going to be important for him, to really put on a good show. If he could stop Zion, then that would be good for him, and he could put some of these ideas about him, put him to rest a little bit. But at this point in his career, he does have to step up in competition. Guys have been hanging on to that no loss record for dear life. That came with the Floyd Mayweather era in boxing. There are lots of fighters who had losses in their career and had wonderful careers. Marvin Hagler comes to mind. Holyfield has lost before. Bernard Hopkins, Ali, on and on and on. And as far as a technician, yes, Floyd is probably the best technician. That's probably safe to say that has ever boxed as a technician. And he used to knock out guys more when he was younger as Pretty Boy. But I don't believe you can compare Floyd to Muhammad Ali, because back then, boxing was fighting too. It wasn't just about boxing, because sometimes in boxing it's still a fight. You have to show this guy who's in charge. So boxing can go either way. You can have a guy that can box, can't fight. You can have a guy that can fight, can't box. And usually the best ones are the ones who can fight when necessary and box and use the jab to keep the opponent off of them. You never saw Muhammad Ali hitting hand pads and all this and that. I don't even believe they had it. I don't believe they even had hand pads back then, in the days of Ali and Frazier. That came along later as technology advanced with the training and the eating and everything else. So I believe Floyd was the best technician in boxing, but we'll see what happens tonight. Boots is considered a technician too, even though he does have 31 knockouts. Once again, what is being held against him is his level of competition. So Boots is going to have to really start to turn it on. Tonight, he can start that process.